What's up, guys? It's Homjack. Last Saturday was VGX, the awards show for video games. It used to be VGA, now it's VGX, but they give out a bunch of awards for different genres of video games and everything like that, but what interests me a lot more is trailers for new games, interviews with the game developers, and stuff like that. So they showed a bunch of sweet new stuff, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So I started right off with some interviews with people making the game Thief, which is coming out in February, I think. And I talked about this game a little bit in a previous video, but it looked pretty sweet to me. You're a thief, obviously, and they talked about a lot of the different mechanics that you can use just for stealth, distracting guards, staying in the shadows. Another thing I talked about is difficulty. So the Thief series actually goes way back to like 1998, and this is kind of a reboot of the series. But apparently it's been known as a difficult game, and for this Thief game, they talked about really customizable difficulty options. It's not just like easy, medium, hard. You can choose whether a guard detecting you will, send you back to the beginning of the level or even the beginning of the game. So you have to play the entire game without ever being caught by a guard, if you want to. And they said it's possible to play through the whole game without killing a single guard, which is pretty neat. I'm probably not going to do that, but just the fact that the game is flexible enough that that's possible is pretty cool. And there is also another Thief trailer later on in the show that was a story trailer that tells you a little bit about the, the backstory and stuff. And I'm going to try to have links to all these videos, interviews, and whatever in the description for the games that I talk about. So next, let's see, there was a Destiny trailer, which, like many of the other Destiny trailers that Bungie has released, didn't really say a whole lot. It's just kind of like Guardians walking around shooting stuff. But, I mean, that's alright, I guess. I'm still excited for the game, and Bungie doesn't want to spoil a whole lot about the game. So, whatever. But they have announced a release date for Destiny. It's going to come out on September 9th, 2014. And I think the beta is pushed to summer 2014. The next thing, let's see. VGX had this pretty amazing demo of the new engine for The Division. Tom Clancy's The Division, which is another game coming out soon, and so this was just an engine demo, like showing off graphics capabilities and stuff like that. Tom Clancy games, the gameplay doesn't even really appeal to me that much, but this demo was so cool. Like, they show a guy shooting up a car windshield, and in most games when you shoot glass, it's just the whole pane of glass just breaks or something like that. And this showed actual like bullet holes and chunks of glass falling out. It was way more realistic than any game I've seen. There's a part where there's like an iced over road, and just the sun going over and the light shifting over the ice looked amazing. So yeah, that was awesome to watch. Another game they showed was The Witcher 3, and I've watched a couple other trailers for it. It looks pretty amazing, not just the graphics. I think The Witcher 3 gets a lot of praise for the graphics, but it's also, the story, the open world, the dark atmosphere. I've heard that The Witcher puts more emphasis on like actual consequences for choices you make, as opposed to something like Skyrim, where you will get choices in a quest, but it's basically just kill someone or bribe him, and the outcome of the quest is generally always the same. The Witcher, it seems like, has more lasting consequences. So that's cool, and the developers say it's going to redefine the RPG genre, which we'll have to wait and see if that's true, but there's obviously a ton of hype for all these games, and I don't want to get too caught up in all that. But, speaking of hype, the last game I want to talk about is Titanfall. What shooter fan is not excited for Titanfall? At VGX they showed a couple new types of mechs, a sort of heavy armored one called the Ogre, and then a light, agile, fast one called the Strider. So it's cool to see that, they have different classes of mechs and stuff like that. Should add a good dynamic to the game. They also had an interview with Vince Zampella from Respawn Entertainment where he gave a bunch of good info, including that there is no Kinect integration in Titanfall, so fuck yeah, normal controllers. And you just don't need Kinect motion controls for shooters, I think. But I am looking forward to Titanfall a lot, and that's about it. There were other games at VGX. I've kind of just talked about the ones that specifically interest me, but they announced a new Borderlands game. It's actually like an episodic series called Tales from the Borderlands. There was a thing about Quantum Break, the people who made Alan Wake, very story-driven games, but they said Quantum Break would have plenty of action. A South Park game. I'm not sure who's going to play that, but that's alright. Again, check the description for links to these videos and trailers and stuff, and I think I'll have a link to the full 3-hour live stream of VGX. I don't know if that's staying up permanently or what, but I'll put the link down there. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.